Welcome to the March 3rd recording. To some, this is the 3-3 portal with the planetary lineups and all the changes that are happening. Many of you know that I am in place, experiencing things for the first time, having things happen that are maybe unexplainable, having messages come through for all y'all, because I'm willing, because I'm a conduit, because I'm not shy, because that's part of my calling. That's what I'm here to do. And I'm going to share an incident that happened this morning that to some, it's going to make you so excited you can hardly stand it. To others, it can be very troubling. To others, it can be like thought-provoking, like, imagine that. So I'm not going to try to micromanage your responses. I'm giving you a heads up because there's no way this recording is going to fit in the small window of time they allow before they cut off the recording for Facebook or Instagram shorts or YouTube shorts, right? It cuts off at a certain, so I'm just giving you a heads up. If, as I'm sharing, your interest is piqued, go to the full reel, go to the full time, because I'm not going to rush through it. This is a big one. And I'm going to do my best to stay very focused and lead you through the progression of events that took place. To those that are already investigating, they're curious about the quantum field, about that spirit dimension that we can't see or touch, right? It's more of a feeling, it's a flow, it's right. We've talked about that many times, where love lives, right? You can't feel, you can't touch, you can't see love, you can't see electricity per se, right? But we benefit from it. We know it's on. We know it, we know when all the circuits are connected. Welcome to the quantum field. For those who have had any experience with this, you've been hearing, like it's all over, but I'm learning that what is mainstream for me might not be mainstream for you. We're in such different places and we're on different timelines, and we're being exposed and encouraged in different ways. So I'm not assuming that just because a topic might be like overdone, like I'm ready to move on, like I've heard enough about this. I'm not going to assume that everyone has that feeling. When it comes to, and we've known the end of February, I was saying, we are right on the cusp. Like there are things getting ready to happen. And I have seen this on mainstream as well. During the Super Bowl, during different broadcasts of mainstream events that are happening, it's being alluded to. The veil between dimensions is thinning, meaning, and they've been trying to get us prepared. Like your dreams are going to be more vivid. People that have passed on, they might come back and visit in your dream. You might, right? So there's been this kind of a lightly spoken heads up. And I'm trying to feel my way through how to even bring this in. I think I'm going to just tell you what happened in light of this, right? And you guys know me, you know I'm dancing between these dimensions. I'm dancing, I'm navigating and blending and learning and bringing back understanding from other experiences to help all of us that are trying to work our way through this, right? because we're all learning and growing. I'm learning about the spirit dimension more every day, even though that was part of my upbringing, right? Dealing with God and the angels and the heavenly, right? All of that angelic realm, as well as the dark. It was nothing. I saw demon exorcisms, when I was young. I have no fear of any of that. So this morning, I'm traveling and I'm in a facility, and I was in the restroom. It was early this morning, and I heard a man's voice, and I thought, oh wow, they're awake early. Maybe in the next room next to me. I thought, well, maybe they're talking and it's louder than usual and it's coming through. But it was just a man's voice, and it sounded like a broadcast almost. And so I thought, I wonder, So I came out in the hallway out of the bathroom, and I'm like, what is, and it was like a warning, like if there's a fire, go to the closest fire escape, that kind of a message. It wasn't that message, but it had that tone. And so I followed it, and I thought, I'm not hearing the exact words. I'm going to just go with it. I'm going to see what this is. And it wasn't coming from the room next door. And so I kept following it, and it led me to the window. Well, I hadn't opened the drapes. It was still pretty early, so everything was closed up. So I opened it up so I could hear. I could, how when you're driving and you need to follow your GPS, you turn up the volume on the radio. For me, I'm a little bit backwards with that. So I came to the window so I could hear better, right? I could see nothing. There were parked cars for people that were staying here, but I saw nothing but this voice. Anyway, it got clearer, and it was a man's voice saying, "Don't get out of your car. Put your hands on the steering wheel and stay in your car." And I thought, is that like a law enforcement? Are they doing an arrest? Are they doing, I had no clue, and it kept going and kept going. I could see no flashing lights. I could see no, like a highway patrol or a sheriff. There was nothing visible. And it was funny because I flashed back to an incident that happened when I was in college. And I was on the highway. I was speeding usual, and there were like 4 or 5 cars. All of us were going with our flow of traffic, but we were all going well over the speed limit. And all of a sudden, I heard this boom voice. "Take the next exit. Take the next exit." Like over and over to get off. Anyway, long story short, that was a highway patrol helicopter that I didn't know existed. I didn't know they did this, and it was a way that they could do more than one citation at a time. They could have more than one vehicle involved in the whatever, and they used this helicopter with the big boom broadcast, right? I thought it was God yelling out the... I thought, okay, God, I'm taking the exit. Anyway, I took the exit, and all of us, we all heard, I guess, the same message. And here was a highway patrol waiting for us and gladly wrote us all up, right? That's what this reminded me of. And I flashed back on that memory. And I didn't see the helicopter then. And I thought, maybe this is a helicopter now. It's kind of cloudy where I am, and I don't see anything, but there was nothing visible, right? I could see nothing. Finally, the message stopped. So I called the front desk, and I said, "Is there something going on that I need to be aware?" And the girl was like, "Excuse me?" Bottom line, she knew nothing of what I was talking about. SWAT wasn't on the roof. SWAT wasn't here to do an arrest. It was no big, like, seriously. No one heard this but me. And so after I flashed back on that experience with the highway patrol, I had evidence of that. There were all of us that got pulled over. We all got our tickets, right? Nobody inferred that, oh, maybe this girl's a court low. Maybe she's crazy. There was none of that. Now, I had no outer confirmation that what I heard actually happened. And if this experience had happened to someone else, less confident than me, the outcome may have been different, but this had my name on it. This experience happened. And, I try to learn from it. What am I supposed to glean from this experience? How am I supposed to share this with everybody? How am I supposed to proceed? And this is a heads up for all y'all. And it's not, I took it as nothing scary at all. Nothing scary at all. I joked with the girl at the front desk. I said, this could be an episode of Twilight Zone, I think. And then it hit me. This is 3-3 portal. This is the veil is thinning. This is between, right? Did I see anything? No. Was there any kind of supernatural? No. I didn't see any passed on relatives that showed up. No, not like that. And this is my point. From here on, and here again, if the shoe fits, if this resonates for you, great. File it away, tuck it in, keep it close by. If it doesn't, just, interesting story, Kath, and just keep moving on. I'm not going to try to navigate for you what this should mean for you, right? When God speaks to us, it's not going to normally be in a big boom voice out a window, where everybody can hear. Maybe. I heard the boom voice, and it was as clear as day, as clear. If I heard the man's voice again, I would know it. It was that distinct. But it was for me. It wasn't for the masses. It wasn't for anyone else, or they would have heard it. Moving forward, we need to be so fine-tuned that we have our ears to hear, so that when maybe there's a whisper, maybe there's an experience that will happen to you that no one else shares. Are you going to doubt that it happened? Are you going to think, oh man, I shouldn't have eaten Mexican food that late? This is just a reaction to, that was that was crazy. And just blow it off, right? We have our choice how we want to proceed. We've talked about the division of timelines. We've talked about what we focus on is going to grow, right? If we feed the chaos and the confusion and everything that's outwardly visible to the collective that is so disturbing and so upside down and inside out, that's going to grow. And I am deliberately on record. I am even ending phone calls. This started yesterday. I don't think I've done this before. It started yesterday. I said, I have spent long enough focused down on the dense dimension where I've been. noticing all the things in the news, noticing the things with disclosure, noticing, right, that whole element of what seems to be the real here and now, right? Just because it's all over our Facebook, it's all over Twitter, X, it's all over Instagram. Like on this phone call, I said, I have been long enough focused on that level, and I'm going back to my happy place. I'm going back to the dimension that I can control, because I can. I can feel when I'm on it. I can feel things are peaceful. Things are happy. I get so excited I can hardly stand it, because synchronicities happen when I'm aware. Miracles are not maybe happening down on the dense dimension where I was, focused on every little nuance of it was like, it's so night and day opposite that I can feel it as I'm getting back up to my altitude where they start serving meals in the jets, right? You know, when you're cruising at that 30,000 level foot, because they bring out the drinks. Okay, seatbelt signs off. There, it's smooth sailing, right? I can feel that inside. When spiritually I'm getting back up to where I'm in tune. I can sense, I can feel when I'm resonating with my higher self. I can feel when all my systems are wide open. I can feel promptings. I expect miracles. I expect behaviors from myself that produce outrageous happenings. And I have to share this other contrast. Those of you guys know me. I'm involved in many different projects, different things that are helping people, right? Well, those projects are involving many dimensions of many different types of people. And I have opportunities many times a day. And I'm sharing this with you for your benefit. This is not because I'm all that. This is not based on an ego thing like, oh, I've got this. It's not. Stick with me here. Because we can choose. Do I want to compare? How would you like to speak with some of our leaders that they've been in this business a long time, and they're making big money, and they're involved in many companies, and they're successful, and they can talk with you about what you're doing. We can choose. I'm presented with these options many times a day. Get back down. Get back down here. Get your sights lower so that they're more in line with the real world, Kath. You've got your dreams, you've got how you do business, way up in the clouds. You're way, so woo, and you're in all this airy-fairy. I live where there are no limits. I have no limits on my relationships. I have no limits on my money. Where money comes from, how it's used, who I help, and how I serve. I live a limitless life unless I choose to tuck it in. Unless I choose to bring it in line with what's more acceptable, right? And these are subtle, I'm talking so subtle ways of trying to control and trying to, don't have your expectations so high. I don't want you to be disappointed. You're new with this. This might be a long time business that, you've been in this environment forever, but this specific company is new to you, and maybe you don't, I don't want you to get your hopes up so high, because we just don't know. We've got to give it so much time. And people that have, this is the usual, what they can usually plan to, how fast to grow. This is the usual, what they do. Nobody is out to try to sabotage each other. I'm not inferring that. I'm saying be very sensitive. Keep your spirit guarded. Your dreams alive. Nothing will suck your soul faster than lowering your vision, tucking in your dreams to fit someone else's vision that isn't yours, right? Moving forward, I'm telling you, we are moving at lightning speed. I can barely launch my Rekindle program. I can barely get it out there because it's changing and it's happening so fast. It doesn't look like it's going to be a live launch now. It doesn't look like that's going to be an option. It's going to be recorded live so that people can participate in it and have a transformation in their own way, in their own time, in their own life. And it'll be a free masterclass, but it's not going to be dial in, join my Zoom room on this day at this time. That was what I thought it was going to be. And it's not. We've moved too fast past it, right? So it's going to be available when I launch it. It will be available for all of you that sign up for it, that want to be a part of it. Again, it's free, but it will be accessible on your time frame, your schedule, right? Welcome to the quantum field where things flow and you can pick it up and lay it down. You can come back to it and move forward at will as you navigate smoothly, fluid, right? Are you feeling this with me? The focus of this whole recording is to keep your spiritual eyes open. Listen for the faintest little whisper. Even for me, it was a booming voice that was loud that led me to the message, right? Where I got the point. But if I wasn't paying attention spiritually, I would miss this is a big thing, you guys. This is a big thing. If it's not big to you, then it's not big to you. Then it's not for that. It was for me, and it's for those of you that feel it's big. Moving forward, you'll feel it in your spirit. You'll feel that ping, like, yep, it's not making total sense yet, Kath, but I feel it. Like, yeah, this is a heads up. Heads up. We are moving into the dimension that has never happened before. This is why people like me will risk. Like, I don't care. I don't care what you think of me. I don't care about your opinion. I don't need friends. I don't need any of that. That's why I'm doing this. Because I love each of you all. Your souls are so precious, and that is the difference. That's what I've been shown, and I've said this over and over and over. You guys don't realize who you really are because you focus on yourself like you're just this body. Or you're a wonderful body with a big calling, and that makes you special, and you're evolving, and that's partially true, but that's not you. The real you does not show. The real you is like what I heard. I heard this voice. Nothing showed, right? I couldn't see anything. That's like your soul does not show in actuality. We are in a body so that we recognize each other, so that there's, right? Because we're on this slowed down, dense dimension. I'm talking to the soul of each of you on this recording. If you're still with me on this, you are absolutely resonating with me, and I know it. You are so, so precious. We are all fractals of God. God is in us. He's not far out there. He's not up in the sky. We don't have to bend a knee and pray. He is inside us, prompting us with our thoughts, our ideas, our excitement, our imagination. What about this? What about this? Things that just out of the blue, they hit us like a impulsive whatever. That's where God lives. God lives in the magic. God lives in the curiosity. God lives in the areas that cannot be described. There are no words. It's just a feeling. And it's that feeling that I'm telling you, you can trust. Many of us have been beat down our whole life. Don't trust the heart. Don't trust your emotions. Don't trust. You need to have in the counsel of many, there's wisdom, right? So many of these stories, they've been so misused and twisted, right? You can trust your gut. Your Holy Spirit is in your gut. When you feel off, when you feel tension, when you feel constriction, when you feel when your head starts to hurt like, oh, trust it. Drop it. Stop what you're doing. Take a break. Take a pause. Drink some water. Breathe. Get up and stretch. Go outside. Take a little walk. Do a break of state. Tony Robbins talks about this all the time. Break state. Put on a different state of mind. We are here for such amazing miracle days, and they are right here, and they're wanting to start. They've already been wanting to start. And for different reasons, some of us are dabbling. I know I'm dabbling. I'm not full flow. I'm not full. I'm learning. I'm working my way through this thing, understanding it. And talking with all y'all and explaining this to you is helping me solidify my knowing inside. These are beautiful days. And I want to just end this recording by saying, you ain't seen nothing yet. I haven't seen anything yet. Signs and wonders are coming out. Miracles they're waiting to explode in our life. I'm telling you, they are right here. Physical wonders, physical miracles, unexplained turnaround, reverses of relationship, things that people would never, ever begin to even think could happen are right here waiting for us to just try it. Just waiting for us to be open, like maybe this is what Kath is talking about. Maybe this is it. So that is my ending. You ain't seen nothing yet. Hang on. Claim it. Picture it. Imagine it. Spend time in your imagination. Dream those dreams. What if you could wave a magic wand? We used to call this dream waving. These are years old tools that I was taught. Picture, what if you could fill in the blank? What if you could control this? Picture it, imagine it, stay right with it, feel it, imagine, let your emotions add fuel to the picture. And watch and see what happens. I promise. This is the most exciting thing. Okay, you guys have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, whenever you hear this. Love you all.